Welcome to No Experience, No Problem, the Successful Virtual Assistant. And I am Ray Huck, and I will be your trainer throughout this course. So our focus this week is going to be on becoming a virtual assistant. Now, you may be brand new to the online world, or maybe you start to dabble in the virtual assistant world. Regardless of where you're at, this is a great way to get your business organized, figure out what you want to offer, and get your initial discovery call process in place. So like I said, I'm Ray. I am a certified business strategist. I have been working in the online world now for about 11 years. I feel like that ages myself, but that is okay. And I teach and mentor virtual assistants on how to start their own successful virtual assistant business, regardless of their level of experience. Now, the reason that I've created this course is because I hear a lot of people who want to do this, but they have this idea that they don't have enough experience. Now, if you really stop and think about that, we all had to start from the very beginning, right? With any job, at some point, you are going to be brand new. So all of these successful virtual assistants you see out there, at one point in time, they were brand new. And so I'm going to help you figure out how you can be brand new and start this journey on becoming a successful virtual assistant. Now, a little bit about my story. Back in 2018, I left my dream corporate job to be a stay-at-home mom. I completed my master's in program and curriculum development. And now the interesting part here is you'll hear this a lot. People left their corporate job, they left their 9 to 5 to start working online. And a lot of times people do this because they don't enjoy what they're doing. For me, it was different. I was in my dream job. I absolutely loved what I was doing, but these two kiddos here in the picture, I knew that I wanted to stay at home and be with them. Now, I have been working in this industry since 2013. However, I was doing it very part-time before I started to leave. So I did have some idea of what I was going to do. So I didn't just leave my corporate job, to have no income planned. I did know that this is what I was going to pursue. And then in 2019, I hit 6 figures in my done for you service provider business. Now, when you hear done for you service provider, some people say independent contractor, some people will use their titles such as virtual assistant, social media manager, online business manager. Some people refer to themselves as freelancers, right? So this term is interchangeable. But for me, this is the best way to describe what I was doing because I did start out as a virtual assistant, but I was also doing different versions of what that could look like for different clients. Then in 2020, I moved across the states. And this, if a lot of you know, this was a big year. A lot of us were facing some big challenges. So moving basically halfway across the country was a big deal. And because I had this business in place, I allowed my husband, or I didn't allow him, but my business made it possible for him to be a stay-at-home dad until he was able to find a career that he really enjoyed where we moved to. And then from 2021 until the present, I've maintained consistent, even increased my income throughout the pandemic. And, depending on when you watch this, we may still be in the pandemic. And it's something that has really just provided a lot of stability for my family. It has allowed us to make the best decisions for our children and what they need, especially when it comes to education. So it has been an absolute blessing. And this is where my why comes from, because I am so passionate about helping other moms be able to have this choice. Now, working from home is not for everyone, but I believe for those who want this lifestyle, I want to make it accessible and I want to give you the knowledge of how to do this. Now, this is a 1-week course, and we're going to go through identifying your past experiences, identifying skills and how to serve a client, your services and pricing, your discovery calls, and just the mindset that you need for success. Now, as we go through this, like you may have read on my website or wherever you found this, I am asking you to commit to 30 minutes per day for the next 5 days. Now, the trainings aren't very long, so you'll watch training, and then at the end of the training, I will have an action item for you, and I want you to commit to doing that action item before you move on in the course, because my goal is for you to see something come from this within your goals, your life, your business, and we can't see that if we aren't taking action. And I love this quote from Oprah. She says, "Every time you state what you want or believe, you're the first to hear it. It's a message to both you and others about what you think is possible. So don't put a ceiling on yourself." And the reason I'm sharing this is because it can be it can be scary to start anything new, but we have to remember everyone was new at one point. And if this is really what we want to do, and this is what we believe in, we need to believe in ourselves first. So in your workbook, so each of these modules, you will have a resource that you're going to work through. And in your workbook, I want you to start writing out your past jobs, your volunteer roles, your projects, maybe schooling projects you did, whether it's high school or college. And then take some time to really think about, what did you do well at? What did you enjoy? And from there in the workbook, you're going to work through your skill set, your passions, your hobbies. And these can be, when you think of skill sets, think of the hard skills and the soft skills, okay? Soft skills are very valued in this industry because it's really difficult to teach those, okay? So if you are a people person, you can deal with difficult people really well, or, just, how to to de-escalate an issue. That is something that is really going to help you within this role. So as you do this, I want you to share 1 or 2 of your past roles in the comments below. And I encourage you to go back after this workshop and continue to work on this list, because maybe you create a list of 5 things here in each of these categories. But as you kind of go through this, you're going to start to realize that there's things you might not have put on this list that you can lean on within your business. And here's kind of what you're going to see in your workbook. So I encourage you to think outside of the box here and really spend some time doing this, even if you use ChatGPT to help you through this process. Now, if you haven't used ChatGPT yet, I really encourage you to do that, because it's something that is used in this industry. You might not use it with every role, but being aware of what it can do is, I would say it's key. It really depends on the clients you work with, but I do want you to be aware of this software program. Now, the way that you can use ChatGPT through this process is you can, maybe you're thinking, I can't think of past roles. And so you're going to have a conversation with ChatGPT and say, explain what you're doing, and have ChatGPT ask you questions about, it's going to prompt you to answer different questions about your past, where you might be able to come up with some different roles that you didn't think of. So maybe it's planning a family reunion, or you're planning your child's birthday party, or a house remodel, whatever that looks like. If you really do get stuck here, make sure that you rely on some of these software programs that can help you out. And, remember that you can do this and you can be a successful virtual assistant, but you have to be willing to learn. Like Jenna says here, your desire to learn is more important than any experience. And so as you work through this, if you start to feel yourself, just think, I can't do this, it's too much, whatever that's negative self-talk that comes into your mind, remind yourself that your desire and dedication to learn is more important than any experience you have within this industry. So why do you want to be a virtual assistant? And I encourage you to think about your own whys throughout this week. But one thing that's really great, and that, was a big part of my story, is that it's flexible, right? It's a fast growing industry, and if you want to work from home, it really is something that can help you bring in that income that you need, but also have more of the time freedom that you desire. And there's opportunities out there for everyone, regardless of your background, regardless of your story, you can do this. You just have to be willing and determined to make it work. So like I said, these sessions are going to be pretty short because I don't want to give you a lot of fluff. I want to tell you exactly what you need to do. And then I want you to take action on that before you watch the next module. So your action item for today is to complete the list of your past experiences within your workbook in this module. And you can either print out that workbook or you can, write it in your notebook, create a Google Doc, whatever works best for you. But please make sure that you do this action item before we start tomorrow. So I'm so excited you're joining me here today, and I look forward to meeting with you tomorrow.